And here we go again. Welcome everybody to Monster Jam Slam Series number 16, Season 12. I'm your host, Green Joe Buff. We got quite the track here, and pretty similar to the last one, except different colors and different racing lanes. And we got quite the lineup. Went from 18 trucks to 26, so lesson learned, don't do an 18 truck lineup. It means I still got a lot of people that watch my video, so thank you guys. So yeah, let's look at our field of trucks. So we got me and Gravedigger the Legend, Mark the Wolf 05 Studios and the Hyperfueled Gravedigger, Aiden Richards and Gravedigger Training Trucks, Pinchio 8 and Son of a Digger, for once not in the Gravedigger truck. Well, technically, anyways, Spin Master Monster Jam and Max C, Joseph Richards and El Toro Loco, Aaron 1234 Channel and Megalodon, the True J1 Digger and Zombie, Stephen Davies and Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Eli Curie 21 and Thunder Roarus, Double Bacon Chaseburger and Blue Thunder, Introvert Drew and Nightwalker, Hobby Buddy 99 and Bigfoot, Metal Health Racing and Gangster, Antonio Rodriguez III and Avenger, Nathan Webb and Brutus, Kenny DMJ Fan 1203 and Time Flies, Delo the Destroyer and Wildflower, Caden Wilson and Double Trouble, Jason Craddock and Northern Nightmare, Monster Jam Collector Racing and Batman, Monster Truck Hyperfixation and Calavera, Monster Jam RC Tour and Captain America, Cats 123 and Big Kahuna, Shadow vs. Ghost and Monster Energy, and Artemis the Cat in Nitro Hornet. So yeah, that's the field of trucks. And these are the racing lanes. This will be fun. Let's go. Alright, they're further apart. So we got Big Kahuna in the pink lane taking on Gravedigger the Legend in the green lane. Down they go. And Gravedigger the Legend kicking things off. Alright, next up in round one racing, we got Wildflower taking on Captain America. Wildflower hasn't run for a while. But here she is back again. Down they go. And Captain America will be advancing to round two. Alright, next up in round one racing, we got Monster Energy, the pickup edition, taking on Thunder Roarus. And the green lane seems to be the lucky lane. Monster Energy, unable to keep up, smashes into the trailer the same way Uproar did. Although Uproar did more damage. But yeah, Thunder Roarus advancing to round two. And next up in round one racing, we got Gravedigger Hyperfueled taking on Time Flies, another truck that hasn't run for a while on this channel. Down they go. And Gravedigger also smashes into the trailer. And Time Flies will advance to round two. Man. And next up, we got Avenger taking on Gangster. The Sharks versus Dinos version. For those that are wondering why it's got blue tires. Down they go. And I thought the pink lane curse was going to be lifted. Avenger takes the win. And next up in round one racing, we got Nightwalker taking on Monster Mutt Dalmatian. The Smash and Bash edition. Nightwalker coming back after throwing down a destructive encore last time. He's looking to bring that same kind of destruction here today. Down he goes. And he will move on to round two as Monster Mutt Dalmatian smashes into the trailer and goes to pieces. Okay, next up in round one racing, we got Son of a Digger, Smash and Bash, taking on Northern Nightmare. Another truck that was added to the lineup. And I got a text message from Amazon. Check that later. And down they go. And Son of a Digger breaking the pink lane curse, taking down Northern Nightmare for the win. Alright, well, this is what I got on Amazon. I ordered a random Monster Jam truck off of Amazon just to see what I would get, and this is what I got. Alright. Anyways. Alright, moving on. Next up in round one racing, we got Bigfoot taking on Double Trouble. And also breaking the pink lane curse, Bigfoot. And next up is the Battle of the Ghost Crew trucks. Megalodon taking on Calavera. And problems for Calavera and Megalodon will advance to round two. And next up in round 1 racing, we got El Toro Loco, the one from that place set, taking on Batman. And Batman being driven by Monster Jam Collector Racing, he's hoping to break his round 1 curse. He always loses in round 1. He's looking to change things here. Down they go, both of them. And Batman will advance to round 2. Problems for El Toro Loco. That trailer is just a monster truck magnet. And next up, a couple of Monster Jam Science Series veterans here. These two trucks have been on this channel since the beginning. It's Nitro Hornet taking on Brutus. 12 years later, they're still trying to get a championship. Actually, Brutus has, but Nitro Hornet hasn't. And down they go. And it's going to be Brutus advancing to round 2. And next up, we got Blue Thunder taking on Max D. And Blue Thunder will advance to round 2. Max D just can't catch a break. And last up for round 1 racing, we got Zombie taking on Gravedigger Training Trucks. And problems for Gravedigger and the Zombie will advance to round 2. It's not looking good for Team Gravedigger. No, the only team members left are the Legend and Son of a Digger. Yeah. And before we move on to round 2, it's time for a fast loser race. Wildflower taking on Max D. If we can keep it straight. And down they go. And coming back for revenge, it's Wildflower. No, wait. Yeah, no. And coming back for revenge, it's Max D. Alright, moving on to round 2 racing. We got Captain America taking on Gravedigger the Legend. And problems for Captain America and Gravedigger the Legend. We'll move on to round 3. And next up in round 2 racing, Time Flies taking on Thunderoris. And what a finish. Thunderoris advancing to round 2. Or 3, excuse me. I keep screwing that up. And next up in round 2 racing, Nightwalker taking on Avenger. And Nightwalker, what a finish. Landed right on the down ramp. And tried to turn it around and show off. But over he goes. But regardless of that, he gets to land over Avenger. Woo! And next up in round 2 racing, Son of a Digger taking on Bigfoot. And problems for Son of a Digger, Bigfoot advancing to round 3. And next up for round 2 racing, we got Batman taking on Megalodon. Hope he's got a shark repellent, he's going to need it. And I guess you forgot it, Megalodon advancing to round 3. And next up in round 2 racing, Blue Thunder taking on Brutus. And it's going to be Brutus advancing to round 3. And last race round 2, Zombie taking on Max D. And Max D taking the win, surprisingly, because the Zombie here has been really fast, but he got put in the pink lane, which is quite a challenging lane. And before we move on to round 3, we got Batman taking on Gangster as a fast loser race. And what a finish. They were fighting for that spot. But in the end, Gangster comes out on top. And I'll be seeing Gangster this weekend in St. Charles. Alright, this is round 3 racing. Thunderoris taking on Gravedigger the Legend. Who's going to the semifinals? And it's going to be Thunderoris, putting an end to the Legend's winning streak. Well, nothing lasts forever. And next up in round 3 racing, Nightwalker taking on Bigfoot. And coming out on top, it's Bigfoot. And next up in round 3 racing, we got Brutus taking on Megalodon. The fastest Megalodon ever made. Brutus probably a little nervous, but he won't let that stop him. Down they go, the both of them. And Megalodon was an easy win. Right on the down ramp and into the wall. And last race of round 3. and there will be no fast loser race for this one. Max D taking on Gunkster. Down they go. Problems for Gunkster, and Max D will advance to round 4, which is the semifinals. And that poor trailer. Lesson learned, don't put a trailer there if you're not ready to crush it. Alright, here we go. Semifinals. Who's going to the finals? Thunderoris or Bigfoot? And the answer, Thunderoris. Alright, last up. Who's going to the finals? Will it be Megalodon or will it be Max D? And it's going to be Max D. Man, Megalodon trying out the other lane. So confident and that he could win in that lane, but nah, Max D going to the finals. Alright, this is it, the final race. Down to 2 trucks. Well, funny enough, we're both driven by Colt Stevens and Colt Michaelberg. Alright, racing out of the green lane, it's Spin Master Monster Jam and Max D. And in the pink lane, it's Eli Curie 21 and Thunderoris. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose. Let's go. And your racing champion, Maximum Destruction. Max D getting the win. At long last, Max D catches a break. Coming back as a fast loser. Yeah, he's celebrating. Nice save there. Oh wow, he's landing perfectly. Well, that is it for Cyber Series number 16 racing. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, follow me on social media, and stay tuned for freestyle. That's next. Can Max D double down?